This might hurt a little, but I promise you I'll be gentle in dissecting your psyche. What if you didn't fall in love? You just met your trauma. Are you dating them? Or are you dating your unconscious? Let's get into it. In this video, I'm gonna be explaining how this pattern of unconsciously projecting your trauma and your shadow, including suppressed aspects of yourself that you love, not just the ones that you hate, onto another person in romantic relationships, and how to become conscious so you don't have to deal with this roller coaster energy anymore of attracting people who just trigger your trauma and your subconscious wounds. Because that's no fun, man. Like, it's 2026, you guys. Like, it's time to evolve and get out of this loop and just like live our best lives, you know? It's time. I got an unfinished painting in the background just to like spice things up. I'm sorry to burst your Valentine's romantic bubble because this video is not gonna be romantic. It's gonna be harsh truth, harsh reality that is gonna save your ass and save you time and save you pain, okay? So hopefully that is romantic to you. Alright, we got the two people and we got their shadows. Why is it that codependents so often pair with narcissists? Why is it that people who are anxiously attached always seem to pair up with avoidance? Well, they're literally a perfect pair for each other because they represent each other's suppressed aspects within themselves. So, my codependent gal over here, she has a really, really hard time setting boundaries. And this guy has very good boundaries because he's like an asshole, right? And if she were to integrate what she suppressed super long ago and not be a people pleaser and a pushover anymore, she would be able to set her own boundaries and she wouldn't be attracting this asshole anymore, right? Okay, let's reverse it. Let's say you're a dude and you struggle with being passive and you constantly seem to be attracting women who are overachievers and they constantly do everything for you. Well, why is that? Because your shadow, you have suppressed a part of you that is an achiever. So if you were to integrate that, you would no longer be attracted to that outside of you. Basically, what happens is her shadow projects onto him. She projects her shadow onto him and calls that love. And then he projects his shadow onto her and calls that love. Not so romantic now, is it? But essentially, you guys are trauma bonding because she is dating this guy because he reminds her of her father in her childhood. And let's just say we're doing anxious avoidant here. She had an avoidant father. And subconsciously she thinks, oh my gosh, if I can turn this asshole into a loving guy, then I have subconsciously healed my father wound. I have turned my horrible father who didn't care about me into a loving man, and I've completed this. But actually, it doesn't really usually work that way because people are quite resistant to change unless they're doing this type of inner work. But what she should actually do is to go within and integrate that part of her. She needs to go within and reparent herself and meet all the needs that were not met in her childhood and seek them out in her external reality with people who can actually meet them. Love is a completely separate subject to this, because real love, true love, is to take something as a part of yourself. And you could feel love towards somebody without being attracted to them in this crazy way where you feel this chemistry. You know, you could love a cat, you could love a flower, and so on. But this isn't actual love. This is you trying to love yourself through external means, through another person. Because you've pushed this part of you away from yourself so long ago, and it feels not okay to have this. And so you look for it in the outside world, and you literally complete each other. This guy's shadow is literally this girl, and her shadow is this guy. If you've suppressed a positive part of yourself, like, let's say, your sense of significance, then you're gonna see that as like obsession in another person and project your significance onto them. And if you've suppressed a negative aspect in yourself, you're more likely to hate that person because you hate it in you. So how do you know if it's actual love or chemistry and not shadow projection? Or rather, compatibility versus shadow projection? Well, I feel like if you base your relationship more so on compatibility, you're kind of using your rational mind more, and you're having to think about, what are my needs, what is it that I actually want that actually fulfills me, and you're looking for those traits in somebody consciously. But if you're unconsciously attracted to somebody and you feel this deep pull inside of you towards them, it's probably shadow projection, because that's your psyche trying to complete itself through this other person. It might not feel as exciting, or, you know, it would feel kind of more stable or boring if you do this other route, especially if you're used to like roller coaster relationships. Oh my god, like, it's gonna feel so boring to you, because those roller coaster relationships are super addictive. Why? Because they create an intermittent reinforcement pattern, just like slot machines and phones. So you get super addicted to them. And you know, what your psyche is constantly asking you to do is to become whole again and look at those things that are suppressed inside of you that this other person is representing. You're not meant to be like walking around triggered all the time. You're meant to be integrating this shit and moving past it, and then finding actually compatible partners to you who are genuinely loving towards you, and not like anxious, avoidant, all that stuff. That's literally just you playing out your wounds from your childhood over and over again, so that you could subconsciously turn your neglectful parent into a loving one. But that doesn't work. You've got to reparent yourself within. This is also why arranged marriages can be quite successful, is because they don't actually include shadow projection, because somebody else chooses for you, right? Instead of you choosing somebody with this unconscious attraction. So if you see this pattern with your relationships, look at the person and name the traits that they have that you either really hate or really love, and see how you actually have those within you too. Let's say you're dealing with somebody who's avoidant. That person probably has very good boundaries, and They value their own time, they value their space. And you probably don't value your time or space. You're probably chasing them and like wanting them to come towards you and holding on to them so strong that it like smothers them and it makes them want to escape even more. But you know, you don't feel valuable within yourself, so you don't value your time, you don't have boundaries. And this is what this person in your life is teaching you. He's showing you that you have these traits within you dormant and suppressed. Or I don't know, if you're a guy, like let's say you attract girls who start to nag you and act a little bit like your mom. That's your unconscious projection of the feminine, because that's what you learned as a kid that women are like. So you've got to fix your perception of the feminine and see that other things are possible and reparent yourself internally. Heal your inner feminine wound. This pattern is especially prevalent if you feel like you need somebody to complete you in order to be whole, and you feel like you can't live without the other person. That just means like you don't see your own wholeness. You are a whole and complete being on your own. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel attached. We are human. This is normal for us. But what I'm talking about is this extreme attachment, or one-itis, they call it, where you feel like there's just one person in the world for you and you can't let go of them, and love's never gonna work out for you if this doesn't work out, and this like unhealthy need or chasing or trying to control or smother the other person. This is not healthy. This is usually this dynamic at play. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. It kind of bounces off of my last video about projection, so if you want to go check that out, it'll be linked here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I also do one-to-one coaching. If you want to book that, the link will be down below. See you next time.